Will the renewed hope of a couple, maybe, of midfield signings help West Ham United kickstart their season? I certainly hope so. As the Hammers took the trip to the City Ground, a place where we normally do not do very well, as we're staring down the barrel of 3 defeats from 3 in the Premier League. Mateus Fernandes has joined the club from Southampton today, and we're expecting another midfield incoming very, very shortly. It's fair to say it was needed, and hopefully these players can rejuvenate. Well, not even rejuvenate, just get some energy into the midfield, because it can't be rejuvenated because it wasn't very good before. So it just needs juvenating. And welcome to our match preview for West Ham versus Nottingham Forest. I have a couple of fantastic guests with me, Sam and Mike. How are we?
Yeah, not bad, thanks.
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad.
Yeah, not bad. So, yeah, a lovely 4-day week. See, now I know how Mike lives his life. Part time. Lovely. Just had to get that in there. Lovely. And now I'm done and off on holiday then to uni. See, what a good life it is, isn't it, Mike?
Yeah, for some, mate.
So
I do work a 5-day week, but
do you? Yeah, not for much longer though.
Maybe not.
Let's start off with the news that came out today. Do you feel a little bit more optimistic now we've got these couple of signings? Sam, I'll start with you because I've got a little bit of a spring in my step, I'll be honest.
He looks like a good signing. He did well against us last year. I think that's all I've really got to go on. Like when they played us, he made a bit of a difference to them, and like they were a bad team. They got a good result against us. I think the guy from Monaco looks all right as well, but again, haven't seen him play for real. I've only seen it on reels. I think we covered the other night that anyone can look good in a reel, but yeah, they both look all right. I think there's still more that we need before Monday. But yeah, I think it's definitely somewhere we need to strengthen. We needed it at the beginning of the summer, and it looks like we're doing it. It looks like we're backing the manager, and it looks like, yeah, some money's coming out of Sullivan's pocket. So what's not to like?
Yeah, this is going to be a time will tell signing, isn't it? We're in a situation, Mike, where we need legs, and we probably need experience. And I mean, he's got Premier League experience. He's a young talent, a young player. And I hope it's a player that lives up to it, to be honest. And because these two signings probably dictate and depend where this season goes, to be totally honest.
Yeah, what we've seen of him, obviously, as Sam was saying, I haven't seen a lot. Obviously, I watched him against us last year and was quite impressed, to be totally honest. Looked like what we needed, to be totally honest. We're so slow in the middle of the park. I mean, who else would play Guido, Ward-Prowse and Souček in a midfield three? I mean, come on. I love them, especially Souček to death. I've been a fan of Ward-Prowse as well, but neither of them can get away. Their problem is they get the ball and they can only go back, sideways. If they get the ball and it's pushed out in front of them, they haven't got the pace to get away. This guy likes to pick the ball up. He likes to drive with it a bit. We can't get up the field. We're just stuck. And I've always been told that attack is the best form of defence. That's what really gets me about some of our defeats. After we've gone a goal up, we just sit back in. That mentality's got to change.
Absolutely.
With a guy like that, he can get the ball out of his feet and he can get us up the pitch. I just hope that he has a good start and it wears off on other players.
Absolutely. On Monday, I'd have been doing this half a decade on YouTube, and I've never seen and I've never experienced such unrelenting pessimism that has occurred over the last 3 weeks on channels and on social media, and just talking to fans. I've never seen in 5 years. It's never been so straightforwardly, that's the opinion and that's it, because there's been no optimism to cling on to. There's been none whatsoever. But today I've just felt a bit of a shift. On social media there's a bit of an excitement, and I've just got a really bad lingering feeling, Sam, in the back of my head that we're going to receive the team lineup on Sunday and he's not going to play him. He's going to put him on the bench and it's going to bring us all straight back down again. The lift that it would not only give the fans in that away end on Sunday, but across the country. What lift would it give him if he puts Fernandes straight in on Sunday and gives it a go? But I've just got a feeling that he won't, and it'll be a really dire midfield to start. There's a bit of optimism in the fan base. There's a bit of excitement, and that needs to be capitalised on.
I agree. Let's face it, he's match fit. We know he is because he's been playing for Southampton.
Yeah.
He's actually played more games than the rest of the team because they started the season a week earlier. So I don't think there's an excuse to not start him, except for the fact that he probably won't know the club very well. But I think he was in training today. I think I saw pictures that he went straight to the training pitch today. That shouts to me that they're wanting to start him on Saturday. It'll be interesting to see who they start alongside him. I'm guessing that Magasso, is that how we say his name?
Yeah.
That
he can't play.
He can't play because he's not signed already. But unless it's gone through and we don't know about it. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. I think he'll start on Sunday. I think that must be why they've done it today and not brought it out till tomorrow or whatever. But yeah, if he doesn't start him, and it's just going to take everyone back to that whole Moyes sort of I've got to bed them in for 6 months sort of thing when they've been playing just down the road. And I don't think the fan base have got the patience for that at the moment.
No. And to be honest, Mike, I mean, it's been pretty swiftly done. And there was a lot of criticism out there regarding the way we went about this, because apparently we offered 30 million and they wanted 60. So we then went 32, which made us look like a bit of a laughing stock. But we've managed to get him for just shy of 40, I think it is, 38 to 40 million pounds. So this works to an extent, and we've got him for less than the asking price initially. So that's good in that extent. But I mean, it would just bring everybody back down to irritation if they don't start him on Sunday. I mean, he's made some bizarre decisions, Potter, in the last fortnight. It wouldn't be the worst of them if he doesn't start him, but it would be up there. You just feel with the current state and just bewildering like lack of morale in our midfield, he has to come in, doesn't he?
I would think so, mate. But I think, well, Potter's an intelligent man, but some of the things he's done recently has made me think maybe he's not. I mean, against Wolves, if he'd have started a couple of those youngsters, the fans will get behind him, will get behind those players. Surely he's not that daft to think if he went out there with a few youngsters and it didn't work, I don't think he would have got too much stick from the fans. But doing what he did, just sorry, but it knocked him down a few pegs in my mind.
Don't bring that Wolves game back up. I think Sam's just about got over the headache that I probably gave him in the post-match reaction, where I absolutely lost my head. But I had quite a good time, actually. It was quite soothing. And then it actually meant my uploaded reaction afterwards was a little bit more settled than it perhaps would have been. So all in all, you had the best of both worlds. You could have seen me shouting live. You could have seen me a little bit more sort of.
But the thing is, Jack, what I'm saying is, you know, now he's got an opportunity now to try and get the fans back on side by playing this guy, I think.
Yeah. Absolutely. You know, that can get and the fans will be up and they'll be excited. New player, big money in midfield, but we've desperately needed it. Excitement will spread quickly, and that's what we need. And hopefully that can just give us a bit of confidence. Do you know, ever since I said that whole, I mean, I've been doing this. I mean, Mike, you've been here since pretty well a start. On Monday, that is half a decade I've been doing this. That makes me feel old. God knows what that makes you feel, but
I am old, mate. So don't worry about it. If you're
half
lucky,
a
you get old
decade
too as well. No, joking aside, mate. Yeah, I do like the look of him. I hope he gives us something, but I do want to see those young lads getting a chance as well.
Yeah,
especially Pot. I think he's got to get a go soon. He really has. I mean, could those two play together? I don't know yet, but maybe that would give the fans a lift if he put those two in the midfield together.
For sure. For sure. And to be fair, Sam, it'll probably counteract the inevitable energy and pace that Nottingham Forest are going to bring, because they are that sort of team.
Yeah, they're gonna be all over us, and they're gonna be gunning for our back 3, 5, whatever it's going to be that's designed to be.
Back 8.
Yeah. Have we got 8 defenders on the books? Yeah, I think he's going to have to be in there to help cut some of that out. We know there's no pace elsewhere, and I don't think it'll be him and Potts at the weekend. I don't think he's going to start both of them together yet. I think that's going to be a one step too far for him, but it wouldn't surprise me if we saw maybe Skulls maybe get some time off the bench. Looks like Emerson's gone today, but I think if we're going to be looking for some pace, trying to get that ball out, Juff looks strong, but he doesn't necessarily look the fastest, and that might be something that he tries to do possibly to sort of counteract some of their pace.
Potentially. Let's take some comments and see who's with us. Michael, thank you very much indeed for joining us. I'm afraid Woods will have a field day against our defence. Yeah, absolutely. He keeps the same system. We will get beat by 3 clear goals. Question: what future do our youth have with research signings? Potter played every pre-season game, but no Premier League minutes. He was also player of the season at both loan spells that he had over the last 2 years, at Pompey last year and at Wickham the year before. And I remember at the end of that season, so that was at the end of the Conference League season, I think, he came back from Wickham, and I spoke to a Wickham journalist, and I spoke to him for 25 minutes, and he could not muster a bad word to say about him. And that told me a lot of the time. And I sit here now and I think that guy has to have a chance. And I echo what Mike was saying a little while ago. You know, he has to at some point get that opportunity. And I don't want to keep going back to it because it annoys me, but that Wolves game in the Carabao Cup was the perfect opportunity to do that. And he decided to go with Rodriguez, who I hope we're getting rid of now. But we will see. We will see. The 3 on the screen would overrun our midfield easily. Easily. Yeah. Mike could come in with his Zimmer frame and
I would say I make James Ward-Prowse look fast.
Indeed. Mike's faster than Guido. There we are. That's not hard. Well, Mike, it's them new knees. That's what's done it for you,
mate. In my day, mate, I would have been quicker than them, definitely.
Yeah. James, Evelyn, Jake and Co. just back from the beach and looking forward to our first game of the season on Sunday. Go on your eyes. James has completely erased the first 2 weekends of Premier League football from his brain, and I wish I could do the same. Plus the Wolves game. I very much like that. The beach that is life. Well, a metaphor for life. Wow, we are getting deep, aren't we? Signings are due to media pressure on Sullivan, both social and the Sky Sports interviews with streamers. I mean, I think he's just he must be feeling the heat. He must be at this point, but yeah, indeed. Mandy, hope you're well. Nailed on. Potter will start with Souček and James Ward-Prowse. Jake, if you had to bet £1 million on the 2 in midfield, who would you pick? We'll go around the room with this. If I was to bet £1 million, which I never would, because even if I had that money, I certainly wouldn't be betting it. I would be locking it in my bank account, as we all know. Let's lob that in a high interest account and leave it there and let it multiply. But anyway, putting that financial part of it to the side, if I had to bet £1 million on a 2 in midfield that Potter will pick, I think he will go for Ward-Prowse and Souček. I had to stall a little bit there because I was contemplating Rodriguez instead of Souček, but I don't think he'll be bad enough to do that. I think he'll go from absolutely awful to just awful with the midfield pick. I don't think he'll pick Fernandez. I think he must, and I think he'll be an absolute idiot not to, but I think he's going to be an absolute idiot, to be honest. And I think he's going to bring him on with about 20 minutes to go. Everyone's going to go up there expecting the new signing to start, and I've just got a bad feeling that he's not going to start him, which completely contradicts what I want to happen. But these first 3 games of the season has told me quite a lot about Potter's train of thought and decision making, and it's been a bit bewildering at times. Mike, £1 million, you're 2 in midfield.
What I think he's going to play.
what you think he's going to play. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I agree with you. He'd probably pick more Braxton Souček, but he might shock us, Jake. He might shock us, and he might stick the lad in. I think also not only was Sullivan obviously panicking, and he knew he had to get his hand in his pocket, but I also think that Potter is beginning to panic now as well.
Indeed.
So he might have to make this change. He knows that it's not right. Surely we can all see it. It's not working. So surely the penny's got to drop, and he's got this guy in who looks like he's got legs. He looks like he can give us a bit in the middle of the park. Surely he can see he's got to put him in.
Yeah. Yeah. Sam, have you got confidence in Potter more than me and Mike or not?
I've written down that I don't think he'll play a striker this weekend. I think he's going to go for that same sort of formation as he played midweek, with the front three being three midfielders, essentially, with Souček as that sort of target man. So I've put down that he'll play Fernandes and JWP with Souček. If he's still around, there's a lot of talk that he might not be around by Sunday, but Souček in that sort of false nine with Bowen and Paquetá. But who knows? We'll probably see Irving and Rodriguez now as the midfield too. Like,
Jesus.
Pull something different out.
Oh dear, something just as tragic as what we were discussing. He had 3 strikers on the bench in a Carabao Cup game. It was just diabolical, wasn't it? Right then, what we got here? When is Jake going on the Sky Sports fan zone? They can't afford me. They can't afford me. Oh dear. Who wants to see a clip of an early video? What? Oh no, we're not doing that. No. Just because Monday's the 5-year anniversary. There's no, that's not happening. No. That's reserved for Christmas only, and Christmas is a long way away, and you'd have all forgotten it by then. So
no, we won't.
Hang on. What's all this multitasking going on here? Sam, are you here or are you there? Make your mind up.
I'm impressed that I can do both. I didn't realise I could multitask.
Well,
Mike could never do that.
Definitely. I don't know. No. No.
Should go 4-3-3 and play Skulls or Wan-Bissaka left back and Diouf left wing. I mean, that's been the notable just bizarreness is when he's gone 2 up front and Bowen's like naturally gone out to the right and the left is just empty. It's just vacant. And you've had like Souček just going out there, and all of a sudden you've got Souček putting balls into the box as a tricky winger. And on the Tuesday night, you had Tony Gale laughed on commentary, went, you don't want Souček there as a tricky winger, and you're like, this is laughable. Like Souček should be the one getting on the end of it, but instead he's the tricky winger trying to put the ball into the box. So we've just left that like left-hand side. It's like they've realised Somerville's injured. We've got rid of Kudus. We're just going to completely neglect the left-hand side and hope for the best. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, but Jake, last year at times he had Soler out on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
I mean, just brainless in my eye. You've got to give yourself a chance with him. For me, I just don't see him ever moving from 3-4-3 or 3-5-2, whatever you want to call it. He's just too rigid. You need to change. You've got to change. He might change in the game for about 10 minutes, then he switches back to it again. No confidence in our centre half, so no. So with 3 of them, let alone if you have 2 of them in there. But I think that's a big problem, is that we need to sign a centre back who can head the ball. And I think he's worried about that. And he just keeps belt and braces with the 3 back there. I know it's how he plays with the 2 wing backs and the 3 at the back. But we can all see it's just not working.
For sure. And I mean, there's been the discussion regarding whether we go to a back 4, and that's probably going to help us in other areas of the pitch. However, I fear us with just 2 centre halves for exactly the point that Mike has just outlined. We're bad enough with 3. You could form the argument that that's because they don't really know where they're going, and 3 is quite confusing, and nobody knows whether they're coming or going in any situation. So 2 would clear that up, and I don't know, but he's not going to change it. Potter has his back 3/5, and that's just his ethos, and that's what he does. He's not going to change that, Sam. So I think that's pretty And, that's pretty standard. As long as Potter's in charge, then he's going to stick with his back three.
Yeah, I think most of our back three look better in a 3 than in a 2.
Yeah.
Kilman, we've got to start playing Kilman on the left side of that 3. He looks so much more confident. Like what was he on 15 minutes against Wolves, and he did 2 sort of runs out of defence. That's what we need him doing. It's what he used to do for Wolves. It's what we signed him for. Again, Tabido, you wouldn't want a back 2 with them 2 in it. And let's not even bring up the Greek bloke. Like, they just look way, way, way too fragile. I wonder if, and he did it against Chelsea for a bit. He moved Wan-Bissaka back in as a centre back, and we know from last season he quite likes a centre back that's also a left back, right back. I wonder if he's thinking that sort of thing again. But I don't really think Wan-Bissaka is the answer to that question. He wants to go forward too much, but I wonder if there might be something around that. I don't know if that's what he's doing with Skulls as well. Maybe behind the scenes, he's trying to get him to be a bit more adaptive to.
Well, yeah, potentially. I mean, to be fair, then you lose the Wan-Bissaka going forward, but then I think you gain defensively in that sense. And then, I mean, to be fair, I didn't think Walker Peters was too bad on Tuesday against Wolves. So he's an option to fill in where Wan-Bissaka would be if Wan-Bissaka is going to drop back in the centre half. So that versatility and interchange between maybe the wing backs and the centre halves could be an option, especially if our centre halves continue to be as dreadful as they have been. It gets to the point where, I mean, Kilman has been awful. Todibo has been really shaky. Gerd not great, and that leaves Mavropanos. And well, to be fair, he hasn't put a foot wrong all season. Really, he's probably been the best out of all of them, which just about sums it up. So, if you were picking a back 5 on Sunday, Mike, not that you're paid to, but it's tough, really, isn't it?
I agree with you. Mavropanos has probably been our best out of the 4 that usually play there.
Yeah.
Wan-Bissaka, I don't think he's defensively minded. He got caught out a couple of times against Chelsea. Positionally, I don't think he's got it. Someone like Aaron Creswell, totally different. He dropped back into a back 3, and positionally, he was head and shoulders above any of those. Not a big guy, probably wasn't going to win a lot of headers, but honestly, mate, I wouldn't know what to do. I really want us to play with back 4, but I don't see how we can at the moment. Not with the confidence. I haven't got no confidence in those defenders at the moment. I mean, bring back Dawson. At least he could head the ball.
Exactly. Gone are the days of our solid defence. It just seems like.
We used to knock Zuma and Dawson and Ogbonna and that, but they wouldn't have conceded those goals.
No.
None of them. No. If they'd have been, that they would have cleared at least half of them.
What we do for those 3 in their prime right now, I mean,
absolutely, yeah.
I mean, Ogbonna, brilliant. Zuma on his day, fantastic, and we all know how good Dawson was as well. And we really missed those very, very solid, going to do the job centre halves, and it just seems like our centre halves currently are fold under any sort of pressure that is applied to them. And listen, you can argue with the goalkeeper that it probably works both ways, that they're probably affected by the goalkeeper not being very good, and the goalkeeper's probably being affected by the centre halves not being very good. So we're getting the worst of bad worlds there. I've balls that up anyway. We'll swiftly move on.
Yeah, they've both got no confidence at the moment, and I don't see where the next clean sheet is going to come from.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could argue Areola was at fault for for several incidents on Tuesday night. So where does that leave us now in terms of goalkeeper? Does he go back to Hermanson? Does he stick with Areola? Do you know what? I don't know what he's going to do. Sam, have you got a gut feeling?
I was pleased to see that we'd rejected the loan offer for Onana.
Yeah,
that's the best goalkeeper decision we've ever made. I thought I'd stick with Areola, but it's so difficult because he didn't play great midweek. And what does that do to Hermson's confidence at that point? Like, I don't know. Chelsea, we've got to remember that Chelsea are a very good team. They shouldn't be scoring 5 against us. They're a good team. They're champions of the world. Like, and they're riding high on their confidence and stuff. But I don't know. I think I'd go for Areola for this game. I think just how good Forest is going to be, how much they're going to get the ball into the box. We need a guy with some arms. We need a guy that's going to go out there and at least try and do something. And I just hope that if it is Areola, we then might not do quite so much playing out from the back, because that cost us at least 1 goal at the weekend. And Areola's not as good at that, so maybe.
Oh, he's awful at it. I mean, I cannot get my head around how we still persist with trying to play it out from the back when the goalkeeper isn't good enough to do it and the centre backs aren't good enough to do it. None of them are any good at it, but we keep doing it and we keep getting ourselves backed against the wall and put under pressure, Mike. It's absolutely obscene. We mess about with it, and all teams have got to do is just even a light press. And it sends shivers through us, and we don't know what to do. And it's like, well, if we can't do it, then don't do it to start with. It's pure self-inflicted chaos.
Exactly. I mean, I think Hermanson's probably better with a ball at his feet. Well, he's got to be. You know,
can't be much worse.
It can't be much worse than Areola. But I think Areola's a better stop. Yeah, shot stopper maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's too early to tell with
the two together, you wouldn't get a good keeper at the moment. That is for sure. But confidence is a big thing, though, Jake. You know,
especially with goalkeepers.
I mean, when he conceded that 5th one, and that's right in front of me where I sit, obviously, and you could see him turn around and shake his head, and he just looked absolutely shot. He looked like just open, you know. He wanted the earth to open up and just disappear.
Just to wallow him, yeah.
And the cheering after that every time that he touched the ball probably didn't help him very much either.
No, it didn't. It didn't.
No, and you just feel from that point of thing, just, you know, he must be thinking, just get me off, like just cool it off, like painful. But I've got a feeling he might put him back in, you know. I don't know why. I think he might chuck Hermanson back in. He obviously likes Hermanson. He chucked him in straight away. He didn't have a very good start. And then Areola ballsed up on Tuesday night. And I can see Potter sitting there going, yep, told you all, and put him back in and give him another go. That was my gut instinct. But we will wait and see. So my gut is Hermanson in goal and Fernandez on the bench. So if that comes in, then you know where to find me with the lottery numbers. All right. And if I do give you the lottery numbers and they come in, you know I take a percentage, and it's a pretty big one. I settle at 95% if it's a big win, but you know, sometimes I'll take 90 depending on my mood, you know. Anyway, predictions. Right, now I've got to think, because I haven't thought about it, and I've also got to think for myself, and I've got to think into the head of Mike. I've done my predictions already on Gary's Predictions League, so I'm going to have to stick with that. And I am going to actually veer away from what I think Mike's going to do. I think it's going to be... No, I don't actually. I've got a bit more confidence. I was going to say 3-0 to Forest, but I'm going to reduce that to 2-0 with the signing, and I don't know why. I'm just in a good mood. I've got no evidence to back that up whatsoever, apart from us signing a player who may or may not be good. So I'm going to reduce the deficit from 3-0 to Forest to 2-0 to Forest. Not much better, but, you know, the only way's up, sort of. Sam, a prediction?
I've written down 2 because I thought someone might steal one of mine. But I'm going to go with the more negative of the 2 and go with 2-1 Forest.
2-1 Forest. So you've given us a goal. You've gone even more optimistic than me. Right, Mike, you're backed against the wall here a little bit. You've got one that I think you might go with. I think
you can guess mine. It'll probably be... Yeah, we might sneak a goal. 3-1.
3-1, yeah. I thought you'd go 1-0 Forest or 3-1 Forest, but yeah. 3-1. So, well, I mean, it was pretty unanimous in the predicting defeats last week against Chelsea, and it's pretty unanimous again in predicting defeats against Nottingham Forest. Epitomises it, really, doesn't it? Let's take some of your predictions. Unfortunately, a 2-1 loss, says Robert. 1-1. Where else are we? 4-2 to West Ham. If that happens, then sob me. The lottery numbers are with Mr. Bong. I'd quite like to know where we're getting 4 goals from, to be totally honest. And I'd also quite like to know, just where 4 goals are coming from, because I'm struggling, to be honest. 4 goals in a month we might do, but in 90 minutes, that is optimistic, and I admire it. Right, a few more comments. Bring in Jose. Mourinho versus Sullivan would be comedy gold. Now, there is the video doing the rounds of his press conference where Mourinho said, when I leave Fenerbahce, I'm going to a club with no UEFA competition because I hate UEFA, and any Premier League club in the bottom half, you know where to find me and all the rest of it. So that's done the rounds inevitably. But it would be pretty immense. Mourinho, you could imagine Mourinho going into a press conference at the end of a transfer window going, we signed no players, no money. It's the owner. What does he expect me to do? You can just, I mean, in Mourinho's voice, but you could just imagine the friction, can't you?
He wouldn't even get to the ground before he'd resigned. I think if we signed him, like he'd get to the training ground, see the porter cabins, and go, "Nah,
not for me.
I'm not getting changed in there," and be gone again, taking a payday with him. I imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. It would be quite a laugh, though, Mike, wouldn't it?
It'd be interesting. I'll say that, Jake.
It'd
be very interesting. Yeah, we would be total box office then.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I mean, it would be a very interesting version of EastEnders. I mean, I'm not quite sure EastEnders has seen anything quite like it. That would be immense. Football is an easy game. Keep the ball away from your goal and put it into their goal. And do you know what? That's what at the golf day a couple of weeks ago, that's what pretty much most of the ex-players said. You know, Cotty, Gale, we complicate it too much, right? Defenders defend. Attacking players, attack and score. It's as simple as that. And I think we're trying to complicate it more, and we've got no confidence. And that's obvious. That's evident. You can see that there's no confidence. And it's a confidence game, and we need to somehow muster up that confidence. And even a point on Sunday. I mean, I'd snatch your hand off for a point now. A 0-0 draw, and I would be ecstatic and scuttling back home very, very happy. I can't see it at all. I can't see us keeping a clean sheet to start with. And yeah, but just we need to see a bit of fight. Some final thoughts, gents. Sam, I'll start with you.
I think similar to what I said at the beginning, I think we still need a few more players before Monday. I think we must be looking for another centre back. I wouldn't be shocked if we went in for another striker, although hopefully not Boniface. I think he's probably a bit too injury prone, even for our front three. But yeah, I think we probably still need another 1 or 2 on top of the 2 midfielders. But agree, feeling a little bit more confident this weekend than I was the last 2 weekends.
Yeah, me too. Mike, finish things off for us.
Yeah, a touch confident, but I agree with Sam. 3 more signings we need one way or another. If I might be loans or whatever. Need a centre half who can head the ball. Need a goalkeeper who can catch the ball and kick the ball. And I think they just need something else in the midfield as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully we can find a little bit of confidence and optimism and try and do the unthinkable, but you know, we will have to wait and see in that sense. Sam and Mike, thank you very much indeed for joining me. Who've we got after this next? It is it's international break. Lovely. So the next preview that I do will be from America. That'll be fun. So I have to work out that time difference. And the next preview will be from over there. We'll have content from over there. I'm going to see what the American West Ham fans are making of the situation, and the wannabe American West Ham fans, Adam Frankel, as well. So yes, we are at Forest on Sunday, and I cannot wait for it. Let's hope for something, just something to cling on to. So match day vlog, the script, match day vlog and reaction and all that jazz on Sunday, and then I'm off. So yeah, Mike and Sam, thank you very much indeed for joining me.
No worries. Thanks, Jake.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed from us. Come on, you irons, and we will see you soon right here on West Ham Unofficial, where hopefully, do you know what? I tried to think of a forest and like a wood pun then, but I bottled it and I really couldn't do it. So I won't subject you with any of them. To be fair, I haven't subjected you to any of my jokes yet this season.
No, we've been lucky then.
I presumed it was the new grown-up Jake.
Oh, right. I see. Yeah, I see. Well, hopefully, well, to be fair, I can't see us, cutting down too many trees. No, that's not a saying, is it? Like, it's ripping up trees, isn't it? That's the saying. I can't see it. Right, let's start again and just ignore that last conversation. Thanks for watching. I can't see us ripping up any trees on Sunday, but, we'll see. Good. I'm good, aren't I? Yeah. Don't give up the day job, they say. Thank you very much, gents.
You couldn't see the wood for the trees.
Oh, I didn't know. I don't know that one. There you go. See. Thanks for watching, and we will see you soon right here on West Ham Unofficial. Merci au revoir. That's French. See? Multiculturalism, and goodbye.